YouTube. Today is just one of those days, man. But I'm not talking about y'all about that. I'm talking to y'all about something else. Today I'm talking about how black people are programmed to hate themselves. And I got proof of this. Now, and I'm not saying that white people don't go through stuff, but from what I see in society, and just being around, because the job I work at, I'm around like mostly white people, and I've been around jobs where I'm around mostly black people. And granted, this is the only job I've been at where it is mostly white people, but I can say it's like, now I am going to be honest, the white people, they do be like kind of depressed. They are depressed in their own way, but I can say the way they treat each other is like so different from the way black people treat each other at a job. So I'm going to start off where it goes, right? And, some of y'all might say, well, they're just being kids, they're just having fun. But you remember in elementary school, right? Joni. And I know y'all going to be like, Alyssa, like, it's not even that bad. They just having fun. But look, why is it always we're talking down on each other? Like, you remember when you were joining, right? You would be like, you're so fat, you do this. Like this childish stuff, or you're so ugly, or your mom's so fat, right? But it's like, dang, why can't you be like, you look so good, or you're so smart, or you got so much money, right? Or like, or then you remember in high school when we started to curse, right? And dang, I don't know, like, because I don't know if like YouTube push, because I'm trying to get pushed into the algorithm, but you remember in high school when we started to curse, right? You know how guys are with each other, and I know y'all might just be like, well, guys are just more aggressive and stuff like that, and I get that, right? Like, it's cool to be like, it's cool to have friendly like, it's cool to be like, you're not gonna beat me, or, you're not good at that, or, you just got cooked. But it's just some stuff that it's like you remember when in school, right? High school, middle school, you remember and I don't know how it was. Well, I hung around girls, but I'm gonna talk about with guys. Like, guys would be like, and I'm just say you're a bitch, or you're dumb, you're stupid. But they'd be like, we're just playing, or they just talk about each other, like, or they'd be like, you don't get no girls, or you know what I mean, like. And they say, that's how true friends are with each other, even though I don't think it is. But it's just like, why is it always why are we always bringing each other down in a playful way, Like, I remember this one girl back in 12th grade. She said that that there was times where she used to think she was ugly because, people would always tell her you're ugly, but they they were playing. She said they were playing, but it still got to her. But it's like, why can't you be like, you're so beautiful in a playful way, or you're so smart in a playful way, or it don't matter if you get girls or not. You know what I mean? It's like black people, they want us to hate each other. And then, one thing I noticed too, I'm not trying to get too deep in astrology, because I don't know, I don't like to think that like a birth chart like decides how my whole life's gonna be. So I try not to pay attention to astrology too much. But I think astrology definitely can help you learn about yourself, but I don't think you should like live your whole life based off astrology either. But I looked up some celebrities, right? Black celebrities, and granted, I didn't do any white ones. If I make a part 2, or I might just put in the description, just tell me if y'all want me to. I can put up some white celebrities I might look up, and see where their Chiron is, right? But the Chiron is basically like your wound. So I'm gonna do Chiron in Aries. So Chiron in Aries is basically the wound of low self-esteem. And I lie to you not, it's like so many black celebs with Chiron and Aries. You got Tupac, Mary J. Blige, who else? Bobby Brown. Bobby Brown was one for sure. Lisa Left Eye Lopez, Notorious B.I.G. And it's just so many, man. I'm like, dang, does every black person have Chiron and Aries? You know what I mean? So, this goes to show you that, like, black people we're not taught to love ourselves. And I know y'all, And then here's another point I'm gonna touch on. And then I'm gonna go to like how clothes affects us too. But another point I'm gonna touch on is beating our kids. Now I know y'all might say, these kids be bad, and sometimes talking to them gently or just yelling at them doesn't work. And I get that. I get it, right? But if it comes to a point where you're beating your kids every day, then that doesn't work either, and it's like beatings hurt, right? And I get it, I get it. Sometimes you might, like, if your kid does something really, really bad, that's a little bit different, right? But some stuff was like you remember back in the old days how, like, I don't know if y'all have, like, anybody that's older, y'all have any older, like, family, but I remember I had an uncle. My uncle used to say that he had a mom and it was back in the time where there was no child, what is that called? I think it's called CPS. There was no, like, CPS. So basically, sometimes they would get beat with a hanger, they would get hit, they would get punched. Like, I remember, I know y'all had guy friends, and I remember my dad even did this to me. My dad was like, if you were a boy, I would just punch you. So, like, I would just be punching you in your chest right now. So, you know what I mean? Like, I think, like, even if, like, I'll never have kids, but even if I was to have kids, I'm not going to sit here and say I would never beat them if I did have kids, because I don't know what my future self would do. But even if I did have to beat them, because there are some spiritual people who said that, like, they did have to beat their kids, it wouldn't be like a all the time thing, like, it really wouldn't. But yeah, I remember I would have guy friends who said that they used to get body shots, or I remember they would say they used to, like, just get the switch. But my thing is, like, when you punch someone, and, like, if your parents are, like, punching you as hard as they can, dang, that kind of hurt me a little bit. Like, if they're punching you as hard as you can, or they're, like, slapping you and stuff, like, hitting you all around, bro, it's like, and if they're doing that all the time, like, let's say, like, because me, I was someone who, I got in trouble a lot at school sometimes, so I used to get a lot of beatings. If you got to beat your kid every day, bro, it's like, it's not working. Like, you got to find something else. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're kind of hurting your kid in a way to get them to do the right thing. Well, like, why do you got to hurt you? Like, why do you got to hurt your kid a lot to get them to, like, you get what I mean, bro? Like, I know you might say, like, that's just like, that's like, life isn't nice, so, why be nice to my kid? Like, I know you're saying, I know you might be thinking you're just getting them ready for life, but your subconscious mind controls your reality. Like, if you believe life, and I'm not saying, like, I'm not saying, like, things won't happen in life, because I get that, but I don't know, bro. Like, I don't think life has to be as hard as, they make it seem. Like, I don't think that's why, like, life has to be as much as a struggle as this world tells us to. And I think, hold on, part 2 coming. So, back to what I was saying, yeah, like, when people say I'm just getting my kids ready for the world because this world isn't nice, or even, like, siblings who, I heard siblings, because I had a cousin who she was kind of like, she was kind of hard to deal with. But even when siblings are like, how black siblings would say they'll bully their little brothers, or they got bullied by their little brothers, like, they'll call them a bitch, or they'll call them stupid, or, you know what I mean, they'll just, like, hit them a lot, or just stuff like that. They'll kind of, like, bully them, right? But they say they're just getting them ready for the world. So, when they get out into the world and, they got to start fighting, they'll be ready for it. But it's like, at the same time, it's like, why do you got to bring your kids down or call them names just to toughen them up? If you, I think the best thing to do is to just say, oh, your kids, like, everyone isn't going to be nice. Everyone isn't going to be kind, but I don't think you should be calling them like the B word or a dumb egg, like, you know what I mean? Because I remember also too with parents, black parents, they said that to get them to do better, because I had a dad like this too. I don't talk to my dad. He had Chiron and Aries too. My mom did too. My bad, I ain't trying to put their business out. But hey, I had low self-esteem for a while, you know. I still be having those days where I be like, damn, like, you know, I still be having those days where I don't feel good enough. But, you know, I just remind myself, you know, that's how we're programmed to feel as black people, you know. They want us to hate each other. They want us to hate ourselves. And they want us to hate our life, you know, and that's the truth. And it's like, we got to break free, you know. It's for us to break free and realize, like, we're not in competition with each other, you know. We're not supposed to feel like we got to get more girls than the next person. We're not supposed to feel like we got to make fun of the next person, you know. But I was going to say, even when, like, black parents would call their kids names, like, they'll be like, I remember my dad used to call me names, but he said it's because his dad called him names. But he was like, you know, I'm just trying to get you to do better. But why don't you just say, you know, Alyssa, you're capable of doing good. Why can't you just say, oh yeah, Alyssa, you're capable of doing good things. You know, you gotta keep going, or you can do it. Why do you gotta bring somebody down? You know, because for a while, I remember when my dad used to call me those names, and some days I would feel like I was dumb. And I could see the ways, like, it kind of like when my dad would call me dumb, and I told him about it, and he did stop. But, you know, that did make me doubt myself. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like, they want us to hate ourselves, bro. Or it's like, even in school, when, you know, because I used to hang around guys a lot sometimes. You know, guys would be like, you don't get no girls, or, you know, I get more girls than you. So it's like for guys, or like for people who like girls and who are kind of like just on the other side, it's almost like that's where some people's value came from. But your value shouldn't ever come from anything outside of you, because it's just like, you know, what if there's a time where you can't get those girls, or, you know, what if you and her break up? You know what I mean? Or when kids used to make fun of people for having designer clothes, you know, you would feel like you weren't as good as the next person because of what you were wearing. But it's like, and granted, you know, got a Nike Tech, like, I was one of those kids that got made fun of for the clothes they wore. I'm gonna be honest, but I do try to dress good now. But it's not because I'm trying to prove something. It's not because I'm trying to be the man. It's just because that's just the clothes I like. And we should all wear what we like. You know, but it's like, if you were one of those kids who were making fun of people in school for the clothes they wore, or, you know, you just had nice clothes, it's like, you know, what if there's a time in life where you got to save up, or you don't have the money to buy those nice clothes all the time? You know, you might have to, you know, things might get rough. So what if it's like a time where you got to wear those shoes from, like, you got to mostly wear Crocs, or, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of those things were validation for some people, you know? It was a way for people to feel better than others. But it's like, the thing that's wrong with that is all that is outside of you. And you won't, if you live your life off of that, you won't know yourself outside of what other people think about you, you know? You always have to be around people, or you always have to be doing stuff or looking a certain way to feel good about yourself. But even then, that's still low self-esteem, because, yeah, so you know, if you're black and you see this, just know that it's not you. If you feel like you're not good enough sometimes, it's not even you. As black people, we really are programmed to hate ourselves. And, you know, you can tell by the TV shows, the movies. I can go into this so many ways. Like, it's like everything is, I'm not going to say programmed against us, but it's like everything is programmed to get us to see ourselves in just as less than, you know, like we're not valuable. Like, even the movies, like Baby Boy, right? And, you know, it's nothing wrong. Like, he's in a relationship with a woman. He's a grown man, and he's living off this woman, right? He's still living with their parents, and he has, like, multiple girls, right? And the woman's in a relationship with him, and she's just putting up with it, right? She doesn't leave. We don't know why. And she just keeps putting up with him, man. And, you know, that just, like, keeps putting the idea back into our head of black toxic relationships, black toxic love. And what's another classic? Love and Basketball. I love this movie. I just watched it like 2 weeks ago. It is a classic, and I will watch it again. But Love and Basketball was a very toxic example of black love. Very, very toxic. We see in the starting scene when they're kids, they're going to school, and, you know, sometimes you will get into arguments with her friends, but he gets mad at her because she doesn't want to ride her bike, pushes her down, she rolls down, and they just start fighting and arguing. But it's like, you know what I mean, bro? Like, why does it have to be that? You know, like, granted, they're kids, and you argue over childish things, but why does it have to be like that? You know, like, not all kid relationships turn out like that. So then, after that, you see in the scene where she goes to college and she has basketball and she's trying to get to the WNBA, and he's playing basketball too. You see, she has a curfew, and you know, they're sitting out and talking, and she's like, I gotta go so she can get playtime. And that's really understandable. So then she's like, but do you want to come in? He says, no, I don't want to run into anybody. And then from there, he starts acting different because he feels like she wasn't there for him, but she was there for him. Like, you wanted the girl to give up her playing time so she could comfort you in this one night. And it's not like she wasn't saying she couldn't comfort you. Y'all couldn't stay together. She said we could go inside. He said no. Like, that was on him, bro. And then he started cheating on her. Like, that just makes me mad, bro. And it's like, Love and Basketball was a classic. And even in the end scene, and I didn't think about it, when the guy was like about to get married in 2 weeks, and she's like, you know, let me play you for your heart. And they end up getting together. So it's like, yeah, you know, it was a happy ending. But it's like, what about the woman she's engaged with? What about the woman he was engaged with? So now she's heartbroken, because it's like, you know, to say you're going to marry someone, you got to be really in love. So she's probably really in love with this guy. But now she's about to be heartbroken because, you know what I mean? He was never over her ex. And it's okay to still be in love with someone, but it's like, you know, you can't be doing stuff like that. He should have said from the jump, like, I wasn't over her. So yeah, y'all, it's just ways like that. They want us to hate ourselves. They want us to hate each other, you know, and that's why, you know, we go to areas where there's a lot of black people sometimes. And, you know, because I live in Baltimore, so there's definitely a lot of black people. And you go past people, they'll mug each other. You know, they'll mug you. They don't even know you. Man, you know, people just mug each other, you know, like, people are really like, black people really don't trust each other out here, and they are quick to hate each other, and that's how they want us to be. So, yeah. See y'all next time.